Let's npx the latest next step, or whichever framework you like best. We'll be using TypeScript, ESLint and Tailwind, but you are free to skip on any of them if you want to use Sass or just JavaScript. I want to clean up everything so I can start fresh. Later on I will be adding some mobile and desktop padding, but for now I want to create a navbar. The header needs to be semantic, so I use the header tag and then I add it to the main so I can actually see what I'm doing. Then I create the icon component and add it in with an icon type, which can take the class name. The header will have a flex row display justified between, so we have the logo on one side and the action links on the other side. Then we need to make the nav, which is going to be a list with links pointing to home, dashboard and sign in button, which for now won't be doing anything. My design does not include dark mode, so I remove that nice Vercel background and change the color of Jarvis. Now, let's extend the base layer and create a class called pfull, which will apply a responsive padding. I want to add the blob now to the icon types, so I have it ready to go. We can jump into create the hero section, which will have our main header and a description of what we are building. In our case, it's gonna be Jarvis. I will add the image with fill prop set to true, so I can add an image wrapper where I can set a responsive height. From here, you will see me tweaking the layout until I find the right combo to look as similar as the design. Later on in the video I might tweak some things, maybe I will create other components, but for now I'm gonna leave it as it is. Then I want to add the blob and giving it a position of absolute and to the parent div a position of relative. So I will be able to place it at the top of my div, not at the top of the page. Let's copy the previous section and we can tweak it as it follows the same layout. I am removing the p full from the main and adding it on each section, as I want this perks section to have a different background color. And now I'm building an array of objects with a title and description for each of the perks and mapping through them to random them out easily. Later on, I will be creating a JSON file containing all these words and rendering that server side for SEO purposes. The final part of our homepage is going to be the call to action. It's going to be nothing too fancy, it's going to be a flex box with the items in the center and the sign in button. Now I want to clean up the code. The first draft is always quick and dirty, then I want to clean it up a bit and make it more manageable. First I want to install all the dependencies from shed cn UI component library built on top of Radix. It's absolutely amazing, you should try it. It's honestly a disservice to you if you're not using that. And then create a helper cn function which removes any overriding classes. As an example, our typography h2, which we will create, has a border bottom in the component declaration, and when I pass border 0 as a class name in that component, is going to override that border from the original one and the CSS compiled is only going to have the border 0 used. Then I want to create the typography master component that will hold all our global stylings for headings, paragraphs, lists, code blocks, or whatever else we might need and use more than once. After that, I want to start replacing those original tags, those HTML tags, and replace them with the components and styling them here and there in order to match the original design. Now I'm making a content folder where I create a homepage.json which will hold all the wording from the whole homepage. I like to have a single source of truth for everything, so then I can easily move stuff around, maybe A/B test or whatever you might use in a project. It will be a simple structure with the main key being the section of what I worked on, and then loading up the content with get server-side props, so we have it ready to go when the page loads. We need to create a types.ts file in order for us to safely use that content. I will pop that JSON into a type converter, as mostly everything is strings. So every time I have the option not to type something and somebody to do it for me, I'm gonna use that option. So I'm gonna pop it in there. And probably I'm gonna have to rename some types or wording or maybe typos, I don't know. And now the fun part, replacing everything. We finally got to the end. Our final cleanup part is installing Prettier, Trivago Prettier plugin sort imports, and Prettier plugin Tailwind CSS. Trivago, the Prettier plugin sort imports, is going to sort the imports based on some rules we can set inside the Prettier config file. The Prettier plugin Tailwind CSS is going to arrange our CSS class names by those standards. I already have this file created in a different project of mine. I will create a gist for it and I will include everything. You can copy it and then you can use it freely, and you can move around stuff if you want some other combination. In package.json, I want to create a format script, so it will arrange all my imports and Tailwind classes in the entire project in one single go.